while writing the MHCET for BBA, BMS, and BCA entrance exams. So this is the first time when this exam is going to be conducted. So no one knows what will be the type of question, difficulty of the questions, and so on and so forth. The paper pattern is known to every one of us. It is going to be 100 questions, 90 minutes. There won't be any negative marking, and there are questions which will be based on general knowledge as well as on computer awareness, computer basics. And the interesting thing is there is no quant section in this paper. So they have mentioned reasoning, and in the bracket they have written verbal and arithmetic. So there will be true arithmetic question, but not very heavy like algebra and geometry and as such, because it is clearly mentioned verbal and arithmetic. So coming to the agenda, the first blunder, the first mistake that you should avoid is time management, not managing the time properly. Because this is the first time a lot of you would making this mistake where you would start with a reasoning section, or you will start with an English section and then go on to GK and computer awareness section. There might be a possibility that you may goof up in time management. Okay, so what you need to ensure, I am sure you would have written many mocks. We have provided you 10 mocks, so I am sure you would have written ample number of mocks to ensure that you don't goof up on time management. If you are yet to write one more mock, then what you should do is decide a time frame in mind, that this is the time that I am going to spend on each of the 4 sections. I know that there are going to be 40 questions on English, 30 questions on reasoning, 15 question on GK, and 15 question on computer basics. We all know that, right? And there are no negative marking, which means whatever question that comes to me, I am supposed to mark them and move forward. I don't think you will get time to come back to the question and review, because there are only 90 minutes. Okay, even if you get time, what you can do, the best thing is mark for review and then go ahead. That's the best thing that you can do if you are not sure about the, but while attempting it for the first time, if you are not sure about the answer, mark it and move ahead, so that even if you don't get time at the end, you don't lose out on some brownie points, because there are no negative marking. The next blunder, the next mistake that a student would do is they would randomly mark the answer if they are not aware of the answer. This is, I would say, a crime, a criminal offense according to me. The reason is very simple. We know that there are no negative marking, but it is advisable to take a calculated risk. Because, for example, if I take an example like, in arithmetic question, in maths question, there is a question based on percentages. Okay, and the addition of 2 percentages, it's coming out to be, let's say it's a successive percentages, the addition of 2 percentages coming out to be 42.5 something, which means your answer cannot be less than 42.5. It has to be more than 42.5. So even if you want to bluff something, you will bluff by applying your brain. Correct? Similarly, in computer basics or in general knowledge question also, if you are not aware about the question, then maybe you can randomly mark. But if you are confused between, if you have ever come across a particular question type and you are not sure of the answer, try to eliminate 2 options. Your chances will increase if you eliminate 2 options and mark one of the options. I mean, from 25%, your chances will increase to 50%. Okay, so if there are 10 such questions where you are going to bluff anything, rather than having 2 or 3 right by randomly marking, if you eliminate 2 options and then mark the answer, you may get 5 or 6 correct. So that will increase your marks by at least 2 to 3, 3 to 4 marks. So don't do random marking in the exam. That is something which is completely, you should not be doing it. The next thing, the next blunder that, a lot of students would end up if they do not follow this instruction carefully. Make sure that at the end of 85th minute, you have reached to 90th question. Sorry, by the end of 85th minute, you should have reached the 100th question. Don't keep that last question for the last minute, because you will have those extra 5 minutes in case you are not able to reach to the 100th question at the end of 85th minute, maybe 87th or 88th minute, you will reach at the 100th question. You have to ensure that you have gone through all the question and you have attempted everything. That is a key instruction that I would like to give you. You need to make sure that you have attempted all the question without leaving a single question. Even if you have, maybe 15-20 seconds left at the end, make sure that you randomly mark everything and do not move, do not try to attempt slowly and gradually to ensure that you get full mark out of one or two questions that you attempt in last 1 minute. Okay, that let's not do that. The next blunder that I'm talking about is very crucial. You need to ensure that you will reach on time. The exam is going to be from 12:30 to 2 and the gate is going to close at 12 o'clock. Now, if the gate is going to close at 12 o'clock, you are supposed to reach the venue by at least by 11:15, 11:30, if not earlier. Okay, at least try to reach by 11:15, 11:30. The gate is going to open at 11 o'clock. You need to ensure that you are there before time. There is no harm in going and occupying your seat at least an hour before, rather than missing out on writing the exam. This year itself, I had two students who reached late for their first NPAT attempt. However, they were lucky enough, there are three NPAT attempts, so they reached late for the first NPAT attempt and they were not allowed to write the exam. They are very strict on this line, so you need to ensure that you reach on time. You have one more day tomorrow. What you can do is, if you are supposed to reach at 11:15 from your home, what time should you leave on 29? Just check tomorrow, which is on 28th. You will ensure that you will reach on time. Let's say the estimated time to reach from your home to the venue is, let's say, 45 minutes. You assume that the estimated time is nothing more than it will be close to around 1 hour 15 odd minute. The reason is very simple, because on that day there will be a lot of traffic jams and congestion leading to that one venue, right? And hence, to cover that last 500 meter or 700 meter, it might take 15-20 minutes in a vehicle. Okay, so don't make this mistake. And the fifth blunder that I want everyone to avoid. I have been student have been WhatsApping me, student have been asking me on the YouTube videos, what would be the good marks, or what would be the cutoff, what would be the safe score for the exam. Okay, this is going to be the first time no one knows what is going to be the safe score. Even if this test would have been conducted for the 10th time in past, I would have suggested that you should never ever predetermine what is the cutoff. You should never gauge the level of difficulty. You should always attempt the paper to its merit. The reason is very simple. What if I tell you that out of 100 mark, 80 would be a safe score? And what if the paper tomorrow turns out to be difficult? In that case, maybe around 65 or 70 would also turn out to be a really good score. And what if the paper turns out to be so easy that with the score of 80, you may not be in top 1000 also? Okay, so 85 or 90 would have been good score on, in that paper. And hence, you need to ensure that you attempt the paper to its merit. Okay, I don't want to predetermine the cutoff, but let me tell you one honest feedback. I personally feel that the paper would be easy. The test is going to be conducted for the first time. No one knows about GK and computer basics, because GK or computer basics, if you know the answer, you know the answer. You don't know the answer, then it is difficult for you. So if someone knows majority of the answer of GK, he or she would say that, "Arey, GK to bahut easy tha." But if someone does not know the answer, then say, "Arey, GK to bahut tough puch liya tha." So it is very subjective, correct? And hence, you need to ensure that you attempt the paper to its merit without determining the cutoff, without going with a predetermined mindset. I would also suggest that don't even consider the IMS mock as a benchmark. What if the paper is easy? You need to attempt more, genuine attempt more. What if the paper is difficult? You need to decrease your attempt, maybe focus on accuracy. I mean, you will obviously attempt all 100, but focus on genuinely attempting questions so that your score increases, right? And if the actual paper is at the level of IMS, then you know that what have been the good score in the IMS mock, you will attempt the paper accordingly. Okay, so that's it from my end. All the best. Follow us on YouTube channel if you are not following, and make sure that you are live attending the analysis on 29th at 4 p.m. We will come up with the complete detailed analysis with the cutoff for the top colleges in Mumbai. All the best once again. Bye bye. Okay, so I have few questions here which says that, so what would be the good score to get into the top college? So that's the last thing which I covered. Okay, you should not be thinking about good score. See, ऐसा तो नहीं होगा ना कि if I tell you that 80 is going to be a good score, अगर 80 marks attempt कर लिया, you will stop attempting it. ऐसा तो नहीं होगा, right? So you should attempt everything that you can in those 90 minutes genuinely. What is going to change if I tell you the good score is 70 or good score is 80 less than 48 hours prior? I don't think it's going to change. You are not going to change anything right now. Okay, so just go with a pre-mind and attempt the paper to its merit. That's the most important thing. So let me give you an example. ये साल का example. I am रोहतक का exam जो हुआ. Okay, last year cutoff was 409. This year cutoff was only 301. 108 mark less. Can you imagine that? A lot of students went with a predetermined cutoff कि at least नहीं तो 370 380 तो cutoff जाएगा ही जाएगा. And in doing that, lot of students try to attempt more number of questions, and it actually turned out that they made silly mistakes in calculation. The questions were tricky and they were not able to handle that, and they end up scoring 290. There is a student who scored 300 marks. The cutoff is 301. Just imagine that. Okay, so don't go with a predetermined cutoff. That's not going to solve the purpose. Okay. Where should we study GK from? Manas, GK IMS mein we have given you the GK compendium, and there have been the GK e-booklet available on the portal. It has been given to you as well. There were lectures which are conducted on GK. I think that should be more than sufficient. और ऐसा ही होता है कि मतलब GK is something कि तुम कितना ही पढ़ लोगे GK में, right? GK is endless, is infinite. There is no limit to it. Okay, so whatever the current affairs and everything that has been delivered, that has been taught, that has been questions have been covered. Okay, I think that should be more than sufficient. So for safety, should I fill the Mumbai University form for other courses as a backup? Absolutely yes. Backup option hona zaruri hai. Okay, you should have backup option. That's the most important thing. Okay, I think this were the questions which were there. So I'll take your leave. Once again, all the best. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.